Hello. Hello, Culture Matters Podcast. Happy New Year's Eve 2025. I am joined today by my co-host, Mike Calhoun, Mike Drop Calhoun, founder of Board of Advisors, and some of the closest people in my life, past guests of the Culture Matters Podcast. Demetri Stakias is joining us again from 11 a.m. Eastern. He actually was with us. Hello, Demetri. Thanks for the relief. Vinnie Candelore was on last year at 7 a.m., and he's been a great friend of the Culture Matters podcast. Kayvon Kay, who I met speaking at the Internet Earner Summit 2018. Wow, was that guy unbelievable. Even more so today. And Jake Penny, founder of Penny Capital, friend, steward. I love the hat. The rent is due. Mike, take it from here, my friend. We're going to talk about our words today for 25, 26, and so on.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are we today?
How are you, Mike?
Doing well. I see this guy Vincent Candelore. He must have had a good year in 2025 because he looks way fucking wealthier than he did last year. Vincent, what happened?
Uh, Started leaning into the truth.
Yeah, you've been hanging out with Jake Penny or something. Yeah, you look good, buddy. You look real good. I remember the conversation last year. We only had 14 of them back to back, ladies and gentlemen. I think we have 21, 20 or 21 today back to back. We've been going since 5 a.m. I got the call from Jay at 4:45 a.m. that we're doing this today. Said, what the hell? So we really actually have not done just 6 or 7 sessions. We've had about 6 or 7 people, actually 5 or 6 people on each session. I think we're going to hit a max number of conversations today, around 70. So, and we'll probably end right at about the New Year timing. You guys are also invited to join us for subsequent conversations. I think they're all on the calendar. If you can see them, or maybe even screenshot it, Jay, and drop it in the chat for them. So if you want to stay over into the next one, you're free to do so. If you want to come back later after you take a break, we haven't taken any breaks because we don't take them. But if you need to take a break, then you can go ahead and do that and come back. We will not hold it against you. Actually, I haven't even sat down. Jay's been sitting down the entire time. It's just one of those competitive things that we like to demonstrate with each other here. And realistically, this is kind of a podcast, but it's mostly a conversation. And we're going to kind of start off here with just like a little 30-second blurb on, what is the business? Everybody has a product, platform, or service. So what is the business? You can slip in the URL. There will be people, if not millions of people, listening to Jay Duran's podcast. So if you want to slide in your URL, do that in your 30-second spot. Also share with us if you were here last year and you had a word. Jay loves this word thing. So if you had a word last year, share that with us. If you have a word and you've concentrated 2026 down into a singular word, I think we deserve two. He wants it to be one, but I will accept two. Then share that with us as well. So what does 2026 look like for you? And then we'll go around the robin here, and then we'll ask some independent questions after that. But that way everybody gets to know each other, because Jay knows everyone on the call. The requirement to be here, the reason that you qualified to be here, at some point he got your credit card. He did a cross check to see the max spend allowance, and you qualified. The other qualification was you have been on the podcast before. So there's no one that has not been on the podcast that is on the actual New Year sessions today. So this is a mature, well-curated audience. Okay, so Demetri was on the previous call, so I'm going to save him towards the end so we make sure we get through everybody for the first time, that's joining us now. Jake, brother, I love the hat. The rent is due. God, I thought my hat was cool. Like,
And it's
your hat.
red
You know
too.
what I really wanted? You know what I'm going to do? Watch this. You ready? Because I'm prepared for every occasion. I actually constantly prepare to meet opportunity. And now I feel like we can have this podcast. So, Jake Penny, what is your product? What is your platform? What is your service? What do we need to know about you, sir?
Yeah, so my my product is real estate. My service is Wealth Without Wall Street, where we teach individuals or companies how to invest in Main Street instead of Wall Street using money market accounts, special design retirement accounts where they can invest into things that actually have a social impact and an awesome double-digit ROI. One being real estate, two being businesses in the local area. So, over the past 4 years, my partner and business partner and life partner, Leanna, and I have built a portfolio of residential and small multifamily properties, up to 134 properties in the last 4 years. All full gut stuff. So we have a real nice system down, in areas where our product should be like mainline. We're doing in areas where it's uncalled for. Again, social impact, also great ROI. Um, and now we're teaching people how to do exactly what we've done over the past 4 years, and that's called the BRRRR 8 Blueprint, where we're doing buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat, system scale, and pretty much all different types of subsidies. But yeah, that's me.
Jake, it sounds a little too good to be true. Is this legal?
Absolutely not. No, it is. Yeah.
Kidding. Guys, I'm just making sure you're paying attention. Vincent, keep an eye on me here. So
I got
you're in the education space, but you're teaching people how to do this, but you're also performing the services within the value chain. Are you providing funding? I mean, it sounds like you're actually acquiring the properties yourself. Are you managing those properties? Like, is it vertically integrated, or do you specialize in like a certain component of it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in my own lane. My partner Leanna is in her own lane, right? I do all the acquisitions, I do the capital raising, I help investors, move their funds off of Wall Street into Main Street products. I help them do that, and I don't take a commission whatsoever. I set them up with the right self-directed IRA holders or 401k holders or, whole life policies, whatever it may be, so that they can invest into our deals, or if they know somebody that does deals as well, they can invest in their deals. It's not like the education part on that side is totally free, and I don't take a commission when I could take a commission on setting up those accounts, but I don't. I give it back to the client. Um, and then my partner, Leanna, she does all the property management and project management. Um,
So what you're telling me is
and
you love to meet high income earners that have retirement accounts that are self-directed, usually tax neutral or tax free, where they can put their money to work in a cash flowing asset that you can provide them like real estate.
correct.
Jay, I think we know a few people.
Love that.
Jay's trying to figure out Jay, we're on the podcast. We're live, bro.
Jeff Winnick just arrived. Everyone say hello to Jeff. Jeff Winnick. Me, Mike Calhoun, Kayvon Kay, Vinnie Candelore Jr., Jake Penny, and Demetri Stakias. A bunch of my friends. I've known Jeff since before Culture Mattered, when they thought, who's this guy sweating profusely? And he actually, was an early believer and client, and someone I constantly have learned from over the years, who has a high intelligence and a higher EQ, which is why he took me under his wing. So thanks for coming.
My pleasure,
Jeff,
buddy.
welcome to the call.
Glad to be
Welcome to
here.
the call, brother.
Thank
The
you.
unfortunate part is you just missed the best part of the call.
Well, I'm usually fashionably late or unfashionably late.
Now it's your responsibility. Now you have to become the best part of the call.
Oh, well, that's true. That's a good point. I like that.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're doing a little round robin. Everybody gets about 30 seconds, 40 seconds to describe their product, platform, or service. Maybe a touch on the family, and then if you were here last year, you had some sort of word Jay made you bring to the table, and then this year, if you can put 2026 into a key word, you can share that with us as well, or your North Star, what's most important to you. Now, Jake Penny just slayed it. Set the perfect example for everyone, Jeff. I'm not going to make you go next because that would be not fair. But now, Vincent and I were here last year, so I can totally get Vincent to go. And Vincent looks like he made some money since last year. He's all dialed in. He's got his lighting right. He's more fashionable. He's even smiling the entire time. Something's going right in Vinny's world. And so, Vincent, do me a favor. Bring everybody up to speed. What is it that you do so well? And what are we focused on for 2026?
So what's up, guys? Great
How
to
are we
meet
gonna?
you. Happy to be here, Jay. Thanks for the invite, Mike. You guys, I can't wait to watch this whole thing all the way through. Yeah, but I'm an artist. I'm a founder of VC2 Art. I didn't know I had a business until this year. I've been in business for 6 years, and I formed as an LLC in 2021 officially, and I didn't know what that meant. I'm an artist by trade. I don't really have a lot of people in my life that were entrepreneurs to learn that trade. I'm come from the trades family, so I was an artist. That's all I knew, and it was this year that I realized that art is what gets me in the room, but it's not what keeps me in the room. What keeps me in the room is having solid relationships, systems that serve businesses, creating opportunity for other people through the platform. The art is the way that I market what I do at VC2. And what VC2 is it's a platform for people to be able to market their story, do it through a painting, do it through custom shoes, some sort of collaborative activation. I learned that this year. And, the best way to learn that is to kind of jump into it. And that's exactly what I did. So I'm glad that I look and sound and I guess feel better on the call. But this year has been one of those years where I feel like I'm awake for the first time ever. So that's me. And I don't know if we want to jump into the word, but I feel like that's my word for the year is awake. And so I don't know if I just jumped the gun here and threw it into the conversation too soon, or if there was going to be some tee up time here, but I think I'm over my 30 seconds. So I'll just.
Oh, dude, you killed it. And that's a great word. Perfect word for you guys. From the guy who slept through the entire last call last year, he is awake with us this year for the entire time. And he's paying attention. Matter of fact, he's even made so much money, he's paying the rent. No, kidding. Right? It's rent's due, guys. Ask Jake. All right. Let's see here. Where are we going next? You wouldn't believe what's on. I'll have to show you here in just a second. I've got a bear on my dock, Jay. A literal bear on my dock. I'll take a picture and put it in the chat in just a second.
I believe you.
All right, Jeff, I'm going to give you one more round. Everybody else set the example, okay? But you got to do it like you own it because you're going to go last.
Oh, last.
Kayvon.
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 Yeah. Can you guys, guys, I'm not in my regular studio right now, and I told Jay this is gonna bother me. I'm getting static. Is that me, or is that you guys hear that static?
I'm getting some static
me?
Too. I am getting static.
Okay.
I think it's Jeff. I think it's your mic a little bit.
I think it is.
It is Jeff because it started there when Jeff came on. Yeah, and it's gone now. So before I continue speaking, how's my voice? Because usually I have, the mic, everything. So I'm feeling naked right now. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Dude, your voice, the complexion, the hair, you're on point,
oh,
bro.
My hair. Oh yeah, just going for it. All right. Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a reason I wear a hat.
Who is Kayvon? Is that who is Kayvon? What is it? What does he do? And who are you? And what's your father do? Is that what we're doing here?
Well, product, platform, or service. If you have a family, feel free to share it, or just tell us about. You don't have to share them. Just tell us about them. And then, what is your key word for 2026?
Yeah, so it was interesting you were saying that. I was trying to think about it, and a couple uh, uh words are coming up for me, and it's very interesting because you said awake, Vincent. So to me, I was like, my man, like I'm going through that, I would say. So a little bit about me after doing, I don't like boasting about how I've done $375 million in sales, and we've done over 101 different sales teams. And I personally trained over 30,000 sales reps in 101 different countries and blah, blah, blah. And I take companies from 6 figures to 7 figures a month, every month. And I got my team right now that just did $1.8 million last week. Like, I don't really like talking about those things because I think, the market can
Don't do it, Kayvon. Don't do it.
So what I like to talk about is as a result of all that, right? So as a result of all of that, what I found is that there's a massive need when it comes to scale. And people think in a lot of these businesses I work with, coaches, consultants, service-based business, online entrepreneurs, they think that they have a sales problem, or they think that they have, oh, one salesperson going to save my business or help me scale the business. And it couldn't be further from the truth. And after all, and now I'm talking about 10 years being in this business, it's never the sales team. It's never a sales process or trying to buy some Schwarzmorschen's product thinking he's going to help you. It comes down to one thing, which is the founder. And the founder not being able to get out of his way, the founder not being able to accept change, the founder not really having a business. He got lucky with a couple ads, maybe a good hook, but nothing that's actually scalable. So what I do now is I come in and I actually unlock the truth, and I say what the founder doesn't want to hear. I give what the founder doesn't want but needs, and I'm basically now become the truth teller in what I do, and helping people to really realize what is needed for scale.
Wow.
Yeah.
That freaking founder, man.
So the word for me that it's coming up for me here is like growth, but it's not growth in business. It's growth in individual, into oneself. The ability, like it is like growth to me. When I say growth, is your ability to like surrender of anything you think you are, so you can actually start receiving and building and growing into the person you need to become if you want greatness in this world. And there is no growth without surrender. You don't get both. You don't get to skip surrender and get growth. It might look like growth. It might look good on paper. It might feel good for a short time, but it's not the foundation that's going to build you for legacy.
Where are you based?
I'm out of Vancouver, so I'm in Canada, and I'm based out of Vancouver. But like again, all my clients are Americans and whatnot. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh, something you should know too, which is pretty cool this year. This year I got a book that was the international bestseller in 2 countries.
Wow.
But most importantly, I started a podcast with the right team, and my podcast currently right now is #1 in marketing and on Apple, and I think it raw top 10 in all business, which is pretty wild.
That's crazy. Actually,
So,
what's the name
and my
of the
socials
podcast?
are going off the hook. Yeah, it's called on the oh my god, unlock the vault unlocked.
Unlocked.
The vault unlocked. Yeah, the
vault.
vault unlocked. And the vault. Yeah, the vault's unlocked. And it's basically all about coming to finding that one thing that has helped people, whether it's scale, like find that thing that, changed everything for them. And they're trying to come down like, what was that one thing that changed everything? Not multiple, like that one, you know what I mean? Like, not I ran a funnel, I hired a sales team. Like, no, what was that one thing that changed it all, or you discovered?
You know Mike Rock?
Made impact and difference.
Are you familiar with Mike?
Interesting. I'm very interested. I'm very familiar with him in the sense that I was on his podcast and he put me into some crazy WhatsApp group that I'm not really part of because it's just it goes off too much all day, and I don't have the time for that. But if that's the same guy, that's the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Are
yeah.
you?
It
Are you
sounds like
that?
it.
Are you him? No.
Right?
Are you Mike C. Rock? No.
No, no, no. I'm just Mike C.
Are you?
But
Oh.
which is better. It's
Oh, okay.
far
I was
better.
like, holy shit.
But,
I don't.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He
You
has
know,
a really good funnel. His funnel is really interesting.
yeah, he's a great guy though.
He
They
has a
deal
really
with
good
like the
funnel.
top
Yeah.
1%
Yeah.
podcasts in every major category. But it sounds like potentially
Yeah.
either you should know each other or you probably did. So just curious. So yeah, that was great, bro. And quite frankly, like I think a lot of us should be focusing on that aspect of more and more podcasts, right? Be as valuable as you can possibly be on these
Yeah.
platforms where, I mean, being on a podcast is easier than having your own podcast, quite frankly, if you really want to get out there
Yeah.
fast.
Oh, yeah.
Kayvon, you did
I couldn't. Okay,
amazing.
so it's interesting you say that. Yeah, yeah. Well, I tell
Yeah.
people if you want to
No,
get out
you
there
did
fast,
amazing.
get a book, get on podcasts. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And I
Link
love
is
the way
the link.
that you did that because now it's Jeff's turn. Jeff, pressure's on, baby. You got to give it to us and you got to give it to us good.
Let me change my mic here. Can you guys hear me okay? Is it all right?
Still has a little tickle in the throat, I think, but
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
the IT department's gonna hear from me after this, I'll tell you that. They gave me the this webcam. I'm not gonna show it to you because it messed up my video because my computer, the webcam that came in the computer didn't work anymore. So they shipped me this webcam. So it's supposed to be perfect. You guys are supposed to hear me perfectly, but of course it doesn't. It's not the case. I'm Jeff Winnick. I'm a mortgage banker. Been in the mortgage industry for going on 25 years. My main niche, I would say, is what I call mortgage miracles. I literally make miracles happen for clients, that couldn't get the deal done with another lender or is in a very tough, impossible situation. So I kind of joke around and I call myself the lender's lender. When other lenders and banks, can't help their clients, they come to me and I try to help, as best as I can. So that's really my main specialty. I do residential, I do commercial. I work for a federally chartered bank. We're in 50 states. I can help in Canada or around the world, and that's basically my specialty. I told Jay on the text, I think, that my word for 2025 was grateful, because I was very grateful because I did almost $50 million in production in residential and commercial business, which for me was a big milestone. And a lot of my clients were investors or repeat clients, and you don't get investors who buy multi-million-dollar apartment buildings or property after property if you don't do a really good job for them. So
Well, that's
that was a real.
non-traditional too. I mean, that's not direct to consumer. That's a non-traditional fund. And so what is your team like in the sense of size?
My team is me and one other guy.
Yeah, that's really good.
So to do $50 million a year, and I just have one loan partner. I mean, the guys that make the Scotsman Guide magazines for loan originators are doing 50 million. I'm not going to go on the magazines because a lot of my stuff is all over the place. I do commercial and residential, so it doesn't really get tracked the same way. But it was a lot, and we busted our ass, and so I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we were able to do so well. I'm grateful for my family, and that's really my.
You have kids?
2 kids, yeah, 2 kids, 6 and 9.
They're married?
Married, yeah. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm married. And it's been a year of gratitude for me, I would say. And then for 2026, my word is improvement. I want to improve myself. I want to work on.
You want to grow?
Yeah, growth is a good word, but I don't want to just grow to succeed. I don't want to just grow to make more money. Honestly, I don't need anything. I don't need more money. I don't need more fame. I don't need anything. I don't want anything. I have zero needs. I just
You want to be valuable.
I don't even want more time. I don't want any. All I want is to be a better human being. I want to be a better father, a better husband, a better mortgage guy. I just want that improvement. So my 2026 word is improvement.
Love it. Love it. That's the first person all day I've said, I just want to be a better person. That was pretty cool.
May I?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the Culture Matter podcast. This is where we get real, right? I'm not going to let you off the hook there, Jeff. Because what does better even mean? Tell me what better means to you.
Better means working on myself. Better means, being a better, if I got the job done for a client, who got a, $6 million construction loan, who everything went perfect, how could I have made the process even better? Better means working on myself, improving myself in every aspect that I can. That's what better means for me.
Kayvon, you are reading my mind, but I've done this for a while. Actually, too long, 27 years. Here's the biggest problem that all of us have on the call today. You can't articulate what you want help with because you're always wearing the cape and you're always fixing the problem that nobody else can fix in the organization. It's the owner, founder, CEO, like it's the problem that we all have. I mean, I deal with the top owner, founder, CEOs in the country every day, and none of them can say it. So none of us here are special. Most of them, 99.9%, have to be asked a trick question. I have figured out the trick question because you can't say, well, what do you want help with? Because they don't, it's just a pointless conversation. You want me to show you the trick question?
Well, for me, I knew what I wanted help with because I needed help.
Don't blow this up for me, Jeff. I'm trying to make yours the best, bro. Okay? Me and you tag teaming while I build affinity with Kayvon. Jeff, here's the trick question. Jeff, what I want you to do is I want you to tell me and share with me your vision, your North Star. Where are you going? Based on where you're at now, you just gave me a great status update. We all understand exactly where you're at, and we can almost picture ourselves right there with you. But if we were going on this spiritual journey to where you can see yourself in the future, let's call it 48 to 60 months down the road. We could even do 36 months because you're a fast actor. You take action, right? You get shit done. 36 to 48 months down the road. Where are we? What does that look like? Back in your court.
Well, it's our most valuable asset, right? It's gaining more of that most valuable asset that we all have. I think you all know what it is, right? It's time. So having that more time to do the same amount of production by being able to delegate better. I need a lot more help with how I delegate and how I grab that help. I need a bigger team. I should have more than one person doing $50 million of production. That's insane. People have one person to do $15 million a year in production. So I should have a bigger team. I should have better delegation.
What does that look like? So what does that look like?
Well, it looks like a a pyramid.
How many people?
From the top down, as opposed to.
Kayvon wants to know how many people. What's the number of heads?
I should have 3 or 4 support people instead of 1. And that time delegation and time management, improving those 2 aspects will give me more time. And when you have more time, you work on yourself. They said that, Bezos takes an hour every morning and he doesn't look at his email, he doesn't look at his phone. He takes an hour and all he does is sort of have that hour to himself to have stress-free and peace.
So
and
3 or 4 support people. What about your investor network? What about your sales guys? What about VAs? I mean, what is the team? Just let's look at the team. What does the team look like?
Yeah, it's more support because I would have more time to get more investors. I'm not necessarily looking to make a company out of what I do. I am the company, right? So I can easily have $100 million of production just myself without more salespeople if I have more support. If I'm doing less support roles, then I could be doing more of those most important, roles of networking and relationship building.
So Kayvon,
Kayvon.
he did Kayvon. Kayvon. But it's so smooth; it rolls off the
It's
tongue. It's like it's.
Avon with a K.
Well, I was gonna go the Avon route because you got the look. You're almost too
I
pretty,
got so bullied. I
right?
got so bullied
Yeah.
by that. I'm
But
I'm
I
over
didn't
it
I
now.
didn't want to
Avon
do
with a
it because
K.
I wasn't sure if somebody beat me to the punch too many times, so I didn't want to like
Yeah,
be that guy.
yeah.
So I
You
decided
wouldn't be
not to.
original. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But if we look at the standard entrepreneur, because he went from saying I don't need anything to, well, I need more. He specifically said he didn't need more time, and then he said he
Yeah.
needed more time. Because when we start thinking about the future, now he needs 3 or 4 support people so he can free himself. When we start thinking about the future, when we get the mind out from the current status, here's what happens. You have a current status, and then bang, he's out here thinking about 3, 4, 5 years later. There's a gap.
Well, Mike, there's a big
That
difference
gap.
between need and want, right? So, I don't need more time. I'm happy with where I'm at. But you painted a picture and asked me to paint it. So I painted the picture for you. So the picture that I painted was what it would look like was me having more time. So
Well, what measure?
I
What
don't need more time, but more time is what the picture was what it would look like in the future with more help, with less sort of me doing less support role activities. There's a big
Yeah.
distinction.
So let's do this. Who else has like a resource or a relationship or something that like we're let's talk about somebody anyone else's gap that you think for 2026 because you have a lot of valuable people on the call here, right? What sort of gap are you guys trying to fill? And then maybe we can figure out how to be valuable to each other because I know Jake would potentially love more investors or, whatever. So, Demetri, what is maybe a gap? I learned all about your business on one of the earlier calls. What is a gap you're trying to fill?
Personal assistant. This year I had different VAs, and it's kind of like speed dating. Like you familiarize them with your business, they get up and running, you condition things nicely, and then you get them off and going, and you think you're like it's a perfect relationship, and then sometimes they just disappear. Like and sometimes they
Are you
come in.
hiring?
Go ahead.
Are you hiring out of the Philippines?
I was, and even with those services where they say they have a manager, so then they have two people who don't respond to you instead of just one.
Yeah.
So-
Does anybody have a really good VA or direct EA?
I do.
Is that is
I've
that your
had
partner,
had
Jake?
what was that? No, no, no. I've had the same family work with me, for me, and other people that I know and referred them for the last 4 years, based in the Philippines. There's no
How does that
manager.
affect your business? I mean, describe that. Talk about that a little bit because that is, in my opinion, wildly powerful for your business.
Yeah, I mean, I have used them in every aspect of my business, whether it's cold calling, whether it's being an assistant, research, outreach, social media management stuff. You name it, they can do it, and they're trained on all different sales platforms as well. They're trained cold callers through with scripts. Um, they've even helped like one of my friends have an online fitness coaching community, and they help do all their stuff over there as well. And very affordable and very also very communicative. That's like a huge thing. Um, always sends holiday, like Christmas card, virtual things with their family, all that stuff. It's very nice. And they speak good English too. So I've always just referred them out, because they love to work, and it's always a positive thing people say after they've used them.
Interesting. So you refer them out?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't use them all the time. So, um, after I started dialing back because I started stopped doing outbound marketing, I felt bad that I was supporting their family. So I was like, hey, anybody else need them? What other service can you provide to people? So then just started just giving out Maria is like the house mother, I would say.
Would you don't mind sharing that with Dimitri, do you?
Absolutely.
Demetri, did you see that? That was like a magic trick. You just
I was feeling, I was like sitting there like, wow, like there's such talent available and it's like a whole family culture. So like, you don't have to share the importance of like why we get this work done.
he just
And
reached into his pocket and pulled out a name
thank you.
and just solved your biggest problem.
I'm so grateful.
You should hug him right now.
I would. I would. Maybe I'll give him a discount. Maybe I'll sell him his next air conditioner for
Jay keeps throwing his arm up. Jay
Yeah.
wants a personal assistant too. Jay, what do you got, buddy?
Can each person I'd like to know one thing each of you act did like so you had you did so you had a goal and then there was a sacrifice and you accomplished it so that you're proud of in 2025.
Jay, I had a joke. I think I know why Vincent's so wealthy. He actually got a VA, assigned all the artwork to the VA. He's getting more art done than ever. He goes on vacation now. Dude, it almost slipped past me.
Yeah.
Vincent, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Nobody can do what you do, Vincent.
No, I mean, I'll jump in and answer Jay's question because this year, and I mean, Mike, where I was last year at this time was a completely different place than where I'm at right now. And like I know you keep referencing like the difference, but like let me just, peel back the layers a little bit for you here and just show that, in March, I jumped in full time to this business that I didn't know I really had as a business. And this was my first time supporting my wife, two kids, and now we just learned that we have a third one on the way that's due in June. And so God's blessing me in my business this year, but he's revealing every ounce of my lack, every system that I thought I had that was like good, that's not good. He's revisiting me to like conversations and relationships that need repaired. And I feel like, to Jeff's point, like I can't get enough time. I can't get enough AI automation to solve these problems. I can't get enough people because, there's constantly casting the vision and then there's actually like executing it and finding the right people to get in the room to bring these giant creative ideas to life when the company is like, hey, show us proof of concept and then we'll fund it. And then it's like, well, how am I supposed to show you proof of concept if I can't fund it? And then we do it anyways and we figure it all out. And it's just like, it's been this wild wilderness ride of entrepreneurship. And I mean, I'm sitting in the same corner of where I shot last year's episode. And like, I'm in my basement and I've set this place up to look and feel like a space I can record, but it's a mess. There's paint everywhere. There's like real production of art happens down here that has sustained my business. But in the nooks and crannies of all of that, instead of, growing something for somebody else, I'm now growing it for my family. And that matters the most because I'll make you dizzy one more time. Like my studio sits right here next to like my daughter and my son's playroom. I have like pipe and drape that separate where I do my work from like why I do my work. And every day they run in and out of here. And it's the only fuel I need to keep this engine going and figuring out what it is and leaning into why I'm here and what I'm trying to do. And so if there's one thing I'm like over the moon proud of myself for this year, it's like showing up for myself and doing what I said I was going to do. It looks completely different than what I thought it would look like, but it's happening. And so I'm just on that journey right now. And so maybe the financial side of that wealth isn't true yet. It is better than what it was last year at this time, but it's not where I need to be. And I think that I'm doing all the right work mentally to improve my mental wealth so that flow will just naturally happen because I'm aligning myself with the right people, having the right conversations and doing what I said I was going to do. And so
Do you have a URL?
vc2art.com is my website. I have a bunch of the services and different collaborations that I've done over the past year on there. And the one collaboration that I'll say is probably my North Star was one of the first ones I did that really like set the bar for me. And it was just a DM that I sent to one of the most influential Pittsburgh breweries, Pittsburgh Brewing Co. It's called Iron City Beer. And I got
Iron City.
Yeah, I got to do a painting actually back here on like a can. And so they like produced these things. Got my
Guys,
like,
this beer is like cult. I don't know. You guys probably know this
yeah,
better than I do, but it's like a cult to drink this
yeah.
beer at the games. And from what I hear, it's the worst beer, but it's the only beer you drink or something at the games.
It's liquid gold. How dare you?
I'm going from a Pittsburgh, like a guy that bleeds gold.
Yeah.
I've never had it.
Yeah.
But great job, bro. Great job.
Thanks. I gotta say, lastly, I give a lot of this credit to Jay. And I don't work directly with Jay. I haven't worked directly with Jay as far as like consulting or anything like that, but his podcast, I did a series with him last summer on here that like really like you could watch my whole ego death live on that podcast for 8 episodes. So like, I would just say go watch that. Jay, what you're doing, man. I'm grateful to just be a part of this and share my story. And so I think I've used up enough of my time on this episode now, but just thanks for the platform, man, and the invite to come back.
I acknowledge Vinny. He painted a painting for Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, and like specifically for him that was based on his textbook. So I had to teach him the textbook because I'm a student of Peterson direct. Yep. And so that's what he's alluding to. And if anyone's interested, I think it's episode 907 and 921 because there's I go through the rules of Beyond Order, the 12 more rules for all 12. It's 14 podcasts in that series, and then there's 7 Peterson painting episodes. And I think what happened to us through that journey was truly remarkable. I hope someday, people really go through it. So I grew as much as you through that, and had the opportunity to have a conversation with a doctor who's a big part of how the show has come to be because of his textbook. So I acknowledge you for that. Vinny's a brilliant painter. We have limited time, more than painter, thinker, painter, expressionist, limited time. If we could just each person, same question, and then I'm going to send all you an invite. If you want to come to 1 o'clock and listen and make some new friends, you're more than welcome. Who's volunteering next?
I'll go quickly.
Oh, Kayvon.
I'll go quickly. So the thing that, with the whole year wrap up was, well, I started the new year a year ago this time. My business partner of 25, my best friend of 25 years, business partner of almost 8 years, one day locked me out of the bank account and stole $150,000 out of the account on the day we're supposed to pay our employees. That's how I started the year. I then lost my mind and went for the Olympics, downhill skiing, and I was a 10th away of qualifying for next year. And then I came back to a business that was upside down, and my only thing I want to do was just exist last year. And somehow, miraculously, I didn't just exist. Like I said, I went from 3,000 followers to over 150,000 followers on basically all my platforms now. A podcast that's #1 in marketing on Apple. And still in so much I don't call it turmoil, but like not truth, not awakening who that was. I forget, it was a Vincent, I think you said. And I just can't wait to see what happens when I actually step into what my next truth is for 2026. So in a year that was supposed to be just the ability of me just to exist, like my goal was to exist, and then all this other stuff happened. It's interesting. So
how many episodes on the podcast to get that sort of result?
You need 7. I've got a team, so I want to be very clear. I have a very good team that knows exactly what they're doing, and I had to film 7. I had to have 7 live before we could start doing what we do, and then what they do. I don't even know what they do. They do, and then now I don't know. I think I've got about maybe 30 episodes in now. So, but like again, not my time. I'll just say this: the ability to get there allows you to just get access to higher quality people faster.
Yep.
So now, like me, I don't care about putting out 20, like 5,000 episodes like Jay does. I care more about, like, honestly, on that one is more quality, just because the timing of it all. It takes time. There's a lot of time and energy, as you know, to go into one episode properly. So I'm doing it for a brand play, specifically brand play is what I'm doing it for right now, and to connect with the right, the right people to see where I got to go.
Yeah, smart, very smart.
Yeah, yeah. But again, Jay's always been there.
What?
Mr. Penny?
Yes. So, yeah, I never said my word either. It would be perseverance. Um, so, the market has changed drastically over the past year, and I've had to pivot so many times. And, my will has been tested, my everything has been tested. Like almost like Kayvon has said, it's like, man, it would be cool just to exist. Um,
Wow.
Because all the big note buyers in real estate, the Blackstones, the pension funds, the insurance company have changed their regulations and guidelines literally last week, the week before for non-traditional financing, because that's what we use. We use non-traditional financing. We don't use banks. Um, and because there's a lot of, it's just fast, we're quick, in and out, done. I don't have time to sit here and apply for a mortgage it'll take me 60 days to close. I want to close in 3 weeks or less. So, yeah, and there's been a lot of guidelines that change overnight that you have no control over whatsoever because somebody in Baltimore decided to, create a $400 million, $400 million scheme out of bullshit appraisals. And then you have people in Temple that are you know, um, doing cash sales to make appraisal values higher, and a lot of other schemy stuff a lot of people are doing, like cash deposits for leases that aren't real leases. And this is just trickling down the pipeline to all the actual investors that use this stuff to provide, their investors great returns and do it realistically and with, ethics and morals and values. So, yeah, it's just been a crazy year to go through, updating investors, jumping through all the red tape that was never existed before, and just going through like my first down market per se. I'm 30 years old, so I've never been part of a down market before, and it's just a really crazy time. The rental market, the people selling, people buying. Um, so yeah, just perseverance to get through all this, to keep growing. Um, I mean, we grew a lot. It's not that we didn't, but just all the bullshit we had to deal with through this year and probably going into next year. So, and then expansion, getting out of our own market, taking the leap into the Midwest, where the dollar goes farther, our investors can make more and we can make more and still provide quality, affordable housing that people don't see in these types of neighborhoods. It's like North Philadelphia, but hey, we have Gladwin renovations. Um, that's what we do. And, these people that move into our homes, they pull out their phone, they're smiling, they're calling every Tom, Dick, and Harry, like, oh my God, look at this place. This is beautiful. Oh my God. They're not tenants no more. They're residents. It's a fresh start every time somebody moves into our property, because it's not the norm. It's not the typical builder grade stuff. It's not your typical landlord. That's not what we do. We have a good product.
Is
We
it all
want to stand out in
SFR?
the market. What was that?
Is it all SFR?
We
Single family?
95% single family that we have, single family homes.
And then so just a little multi.
Yeah, we have like one, twos, threes,
Yeah.
maybe.
Some tries, some dupes. Yeah, very.
Yeah, but I mean, 90% of it's all single family. And we fully got these properties down to the studs and redo everything. So there's no problem. There's no leaks. There's none of that shit. So,
God
yeah.
bless our curiosity. Jeff and Demetri, can you give your answer at the exact same time?
Can
Yeah.
you restate the question
Well,
just real quick, Jay?
I want to tell
Yes, but
Jake,
it's
I feel
go
your
ahead.
pain. I feel your pain with the secondary market because I had to feel it, wholeheartedly. I lost 8 deals in the same week because lenders pulled out of Philadelphia on the drop of a hat. All of a sudden they wouldn't lend only because they were in Philadelphia. And I was like, what? Because of what you probably saw in the Philadelphia Inquirer, right? With that realtor, I won't name the name. That caused all that fraud in Temple, and it's messing up the markets, and it's causing a mini 2008 on the DSCR loans, and it's a big problem for investors. So, feel free to reach out to me, man, because I got a good solutions for those types of problems. And I've been pivoting a lot with lenders that can help where other lenders can't help in Philly. Or I'm still closing loans in Baltimore, believe it or not. So I just wanted to say that about what Jake brought up. My problem has been every loan we have an issue. Every loan there's a problem. So it's very difficult to just say one. But my biggest problem has been embracing a new product type that I wasn't as familiar with, which is ground up construction loans over,
Mm.
let's say, over $5 million in loans. 5 million and up. 5 million to $50 million space. I wasn't as familiar with these loan types, so I had to get familiar quick and be an expert for my clients. So I was the point of contact, which I quickly overcame that. And in a short time, I'll just say that every single loan that I've had, I've
Are
closed.
these the year one loans?
What?
Is this the year one loan to get them to their construction financing? Is that the loan you're
It's
talking
the
about?
actual. It's usually the purchase of the land and the construction, or just they buy the land cash, or just the construction, like to build a 50-unit apartment building, let's say.
Okay, so this is the actual construction loan.
Yeah, the actual construction loan. So I had to become an expert pretty quickly, and I got, knock on wood, I got 1,000% batting average. So every single one that I've done, and I've been quite a lot in 2025, I've gotten close, and there have been some unbelievable challenges where I feel like I literally had to climb mountains, to get there. So that'd be my biggest problem that I persevere.
If you have a resource that wants 20% on year one and 8% of the back end, so it'll refi out in 12 to 15. So you'll get 20% on the first 12 months, prorated on the second 3 months if it goes into the second 3 months, and you want 8% on the sale of the property. Like that is a real deal. That if that's something you can finance, there's 20 of them on the plate, so it's about 5 mil in total.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the Culture Matters podcast, please bear with us. So I want to
Sorry, we're
acknowledge.
making money.
I could care less about it. If I did, this would be a very different
Kidding.
show. Very different show. Um, but I want to
Well, the
acknowledge
rent's due.
I want to acknowledge Mike Calhoun for
Right,
showing up
Jay?
at 4:40 in the morning. The amount of for the, for the level of intention, you could see the curiosity and the love and the care to help. I want to acknowledge him because that is what this show is about. We are going to disrespect unintentionally other human beings who also have space and time they're operating within, like us, who are no better or worse than us. So with that, hopefully this helps the audience recognize the burden of responsibility that comes with caring, privilege, being in an entitled position of authority, influence, where people like you have something to offer and say. So I want to do this. If you're listening to this whole podcast, please share this with a friend that needs a wake-up call, that needs friends. Learn how to, take as much interest and care like Mike does in people, like everyone here listening to each other. What a beautiful expression. We have run so far at a time. You know why? Because we're going to be on time for the next. I introduce.
There's too much to give, Jay. There's too much to give.
Spiritually,
When you have
yeah.
that much
Well,
value, it just doesn't end. It's like a
Thank you,
hose
Jay.
left on.
I connected all of you because Mike has taught me through osmosis, one of his genius gifts. You got to connect the people. So I connected everyone here on email with the link for 1 o'clock. I'm going to urinate very quickly. I'll see you in 1 minute, or I'll see you next year. And thanks for listening to the Culture Matters podcast.